Welcome to the next tutorial in electric power system. In this tutorial, we are going to solve few problems based on power system stability. So before that, let us revise some of the important concepts and the formulas. In order to calculate the kinetic energy of the system, we have to obtain using the product of G into H, where G is the inertia constant of the machine and H is basically the MVA rating of the machine, which is given by half of M into omega S, where M that we can obtain using the formula of 2GH by omega S being the speed of the machine in the radian per second. So this is given by omega S is equal to 2 pi F, where F is the supply frequency. Now here, if we cancel the value of 2, then we get as GH by pi F, the unit being megajoule second by electrical radian. Now, in order to convert this mechanical degree, which is in radian, if we convert into degree, we get a value GH by 180 into F. Now, if we take the G as the base of the system, which is the MVA rating of the machine, then the value of M, that is the acceleration that we get, is H by pi F. This unit is megajoule second by electrical radian. Now, this value we can get in terms of degree as H by 180 F megajoule second per electrical degree. Now, in terms of power, if we think, then under the steady state stability system, our mechanical power will be equal to the electrical power, which is given by P max sine delta, where P max is given by V1 into V2 by X, where V1 is the sending end voltage, V2 is the receiving end voltage, and X being the reactance of the line. So if we consider that V1 is the sending end with a reactance of the line given by X, and at the receiving end we are having a voltage V2, then the maximum power will be given by V1, V2 by X of the line. Now, delta being the torque angle of the line. So in order to understand the stability system, we need to understand the swing equation as well as the equal area criterion. So swing equation is basically given by the famous equation where we use H by pi F d2 delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe, whereas Pm minus Pe is basically the accelerating power of the system. So we have discussed this in detail in our lecture class. So please see the video on the lecture class so that to understand how this derivation has come. Now, in order to have the stability, the accelerating area and the deaccelerating area will has to be equal. So if A1 is equal to A2, then we can say that the system will be stable, and here the accelerating power is equal to the deaccelerating power of the system. So for a certain critical angle delta of the system above which the system will lose its synchronism, then we can calculate the initial value of the torque angle and the maximum value of the torque angle given the equation of the power for the initial power and the maximum power. Based on these fundamentals, we are going to solve few problems. So problem number 1, we have a 4-pole 60 Hz 30 MVA synchronous generator. So here the number of poles is 4, the frequency is given to be 60 Hz, and the rating of the machine is given as 30 MVA. Is having the inertia constant as 8 megajoule per MVA. So this is the inertia constant of the machine. So it is given in megajoule per MVA. It means that if this data is multiplied with the MVA rating of the machine, we are getting the kinetic energy of the system. The input power and output power of the system generator are given to be 25 megawatt and 18 megawatt respectively. So for a generator, we have been given the input power and the output power. So if the input power and output power is given, we can discuss what is the net acceleration power of the system. So if we calculate the kinetic energy stored in the rotor at synchronous speed, the acceleration power, acceleration and torque angle at 10 cycles. So these are the 4 quantities that we need to determine for the system. So let us see the solution. So having said that, the kinetic energy stored in the rotor is basically the MVA rating of the machine. So we have 30 MVA as the rating of the machine and the inertia constant being given as megajoule per MVA. We will get the kinetic energy of the system as 240 megajoule. Now the acceleration power, which is basically given by the difference of the output power and the input power, which is the difference of 25 megawatt and 18 megawatt. This gives to be 7 megawatt as the acceleration power of the system. So it is mechanical power minus electrical power. Then the acceleration m is given by the equation 2h by omega s into sb, where sb is basically the rating of the machine, which is given by 30 MVA of the machine, and the value of h, that is the inertia constant, is given as 8, and omega sm, that is the synchronous speed of the machine, will be given as 2 pi f, f being the frequency of the supply. So here if we substitute all these values, then we get a value of 1.27 as the acceleration. Now in order to calculate the net acceleration, we need to find the equation which is given by 2m by the number of poles into d2 delta by dt square will be equal to the net acceleration. So this is basically the swing equation whatever we have. So if we substitute the value of the number of poles and whatever the value of the acceleration we get it, then we can calculate the value of d2 delta by dt square. So we are getting 11.02 radian per second square. Now we have to determine what is the torque angle after 10 cycles. So in order to calculate the torque angle, first we have to calculate for 10 cycles what is the equivalent time. So 10 divided by the 60 second, we getting 0.166 second. Now here we will be using this equation of d2 delta by dt square, which is equal to 11.02 to calculate the torque angle delta. So if you multiply that equation with 2 delta by dt on both the LHS side as well as the RHS side, and then we integrate to find the first d2 delta by dt square, we get 22.04 delta plus some constant. So these constant we need to find using the boundary condition, which is at time t equal to 0, the d delta by dt will be equal to 0, and this gives that the constant c equal to 0. So the constant is basically 0. It means that d delta by dt square is basically equal to 22.04 delta. Then we can again take the square root to find the value of d delta by dt. Now finally on integrating this, we will get the value of delta, which is equal to 0.15 radian. So this completes the first problem, and based on this particular problem we can solve one practice problem, which is the given as follows, where the stored energy in the rotor of a 4-pole 50 Hz 25 MVA synchronous generator is found to be 180 megajoule. So here the number of poles is given to be 4, the frequency is given to be 50 Hz, and this is the rating of the machine, which is 25 MVA, and the kinetic energy of the system is given to be 180 megajoule. Input power and output power are given to be 35 megawatt and 25 megawatt. So this will be used to determine the acceleration power, determine the inertia constant of the machine, the acceleration power, and the acceleration of the system. So based on the first problem that we have discussed, this will be the practice problem which can be solved with the knowledge of the first problem. Next problem that we are going to solve is basically where a synchronous machine whose inertia constant is given as 6 megajoule per MVA. So this is the inertia constant of the machine. The machine is connected to an infinite bus. Infinite bus means a bus which is having a constant voltage of 1 per unit. So the machine is connected through a transmission line to the generator. So if we consider the generator and the infinite bus of the system, which is maintaining a voltage of 1 per unit, and the generator is having a reactance of 0.24 per unit, and the transformer is given a rating of 0.12 per unit with the transmission line reactance as 0.34 per unit. So we have to basically calculate few things with the knowledge that the generator is delivering a real power of 0.9 per unit. So this is the real power which is given by this generator at a 0.9 power factor lagging condition. So the difference between the voltage and the angle is given to be 0.9 power factor. Now there is a small disturbance which is occurring in the system. So due to this disturbance, we have derived that the torque angle is calculated to be 9 degrees. So the value of delta is found to be 9 degrees. You have to calculate the per unit apparent power. So basically, what is the apparent power of the system, the line current of the system, the generated voltage of the generator, and synchronization power coefficient, undamped angular frequency of the oscillation, and the period of oscillation. So this is the single line diagram of a power system where the generator is feeding power to the infinite bus through a transformer and the transmission line, and the data are given where a small disturbances is occurring in the system. So we have to calculate few quantities. So let us see the solution. So the first thing that we need to calculate is what is the total reactance of the system from the generator to the infinite bus. So we have to simply add all the reactances of the generator, the transformer, and the transmission line to determine the total reactance of the system. So the total reactance is coming to be J0.70. Now the value of apparent power we can calculate because 0.9 is basically the power factor lagging, and we have the real power 0.9. So we can divide with 0.9. So we're getting 1 angle 25.84 as the apparent power in per unit system. Now the line current can be obtained. So the line current, whatever the current is flowing here, can be obtained as the complex power divided by the voltage of the infinite bus. So the voltage of the infinite bus is 1 angle 0. So here the complex power we have obtained 1 angle 25.84 with a negative sign because we have the lagging power factor condition. So it gives to be 1 minus 25.84 as the per unit for the current which is flowing in the system. Now if we consider thus, we have a generator and then the total reactance of the line and the voltage of the infinite bus. So we have the infinite bus of the system. We can write the KVL equation in this loop where the generator voltage will be equal to the voltage of the infinite bus and the total drop in the line will be IL into the total reactance of the line. So the KVL equation will be the generated voltage is equal to the infinite bus voltage plus the total drop of the system, which is equal to the product of the line voltage into reactance of the line. So these are all complex quantities, so we have to substitute it appropriately to determine the generated voltage, which is 1.45 angle 25.76, and this is in per unit system. Now the synchronizing power coefficient we can determine with the equation P max cos delta. We have discussed this P max will be equal to V1 or V2 by X of the system, where V1 is basically what is the voltage of the generator. So V1 is equal to the voltage of the generator and V2 is the voltage of the infinite bus of the system. Then we know that the generator voltage is equal to 1.45, the infinite bus is 1 and the total reactance of the line is 0.70, whereas the cos delta we have a 9 degree torque angle calculated at the disturbance, and 25.76 we have already got it in the previous calculation in the generated voltage. So that we subtract to get the synchronization power coefficient as 1.98. So we can now determine the undamped angular frequency of the system. So undamped angular frequency of the system is given by the formula under root of omega s, that is the synchronous speed of the machine in radian per second divided by 2h, the inertia constant of the machine multiplied with the rating of the machine. So here we multiplied with this synchronization power coefficient. So synchronization power coefficient we got it 1.98, and omega s is basically 2 pi into frequency. So frequency being the 50 hertz, and 2 and 2 will cancel out each other, and the inertia constant is given to be 6. So we can determine this to be 7.2 radian per second as the angular frequency of the undamped system. So the frequency of oscillation being given as Fn is equal to 7.2 by 2 pi, because omega is equal to 2 pi f. So here the undamped frequency omega n will be equal to the 2 pi Fn. So Fn being the frequency of oscillation, we can determine with 7.2 divided by 2 pi, which is equal to 1.14 Hz. Now finally we can determine the period of oscillation. So the period of oscillation being T divided is equal to 1 by Fn, because the time period is inversely proportional to the frequency. Frequency being 1.14, so time period we are getting 0.88 second. So this completes the second problem, and based on this we can solve one problem, which is the practice problem, where a 50 Hz synchronous machine is having the inertia constant of 8 megajoule per MVA. So frequency is 50 Hz and the value of H is given to be 8 megajoule per MVA. The excitation voltage is 1.5 angle 20, which is the generator voltage. The generator is connected to an infinite bus through a transmission line, and the infinity bus voltage is given to be 1 angle 0. This is constant always, 1 angle 0, because this is the voltage of the infinite bus. The total reactance between the generator and the infinite bus is 0.23 per unit. So we have the generator and the total reactance is already given to us. This is equal to 0.23 per unit. You have to determine the synchronization power coefficient. So synchronization power coefficient is P max cos delta, undamped angular frequency of oscillation, and period of oscillation. So having solved the problem number 2, we can easily solve this practice problem. So this completes the first part of the power system stability problem. There will be one more part which is coming to be in the next class. So let us see you in the next class. Thank you for now.